This is a clip from our big NHL show. To check out my entire show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. We move on. 7 p.m. Eastern, Washington Capitals at the Buffalo Sabres, KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. At Bet365 right now, these Capitals are minus 135 favorites. The puck line is at plus 175 for the Caps, and this total is at 6. I'm hitting this game in two different ways. I'm taking the Washington Capitals minus 1. I'm getting a plus 117 line, and I'm also taking the over 6 at minus 115. The time is now for the Washington Capitals. Unlike Sid and Gino in Pittsburgh, GM Brian McClellan has surrounded Ovi and Backstrom with excellent talent. I mean, you have, and continuity. Not only that, talent and continuity of TJ Oshie, of Jenny Kuznetsov. They are elite playmakers and snipers. Then you have a guy like Tom Wilson, who forces the opponent to keep their head up at all times. He's fast. He is tough. His hits are enormous. He can drop the gloves and fight. What he does is he creates space for the offensive skill set players on the Washington Capitals, and he's extremely valuable. Then what else do you give him? You give him at one point, and now I really think that Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar have something to say about this, and to a lesser extent Zach Werenski, but you have the number one offensive defenseman in the league in John Carlson. I mean, imagine if Sid and Gino had that in Pittsburgh. I mean, they wouldn't have only had 3 parades, I tell you that much. But the time is now. And this is a 56-game season that works out perfectly for an aging club. You have Ovechkin, 35 years of age. He's played 1,288 games, including the playoffs. Nick Backstrom, 33. He's played 1,084 games, including the playoffs. And then you add 43-year-old Zdeno Chara, 1,748 games he's played. Urgency, baby. 56-game season. Win now. Win on opening night and win often. Their division is the toughest in the NHL. Get those W's. Let's go to the Sabres. I've enjoyed betting on the Sabres at times throughout the last few years. There's times when we can find value with them. I think Jack Eichel is good enough to build a team around. I'm extremely interested to see what Taylor Hall is going to do on his wing. I'm not sold on the Eric Staal pickup. I'm not sure if he is a top 6 forward anymore, if he's good enough to be a second-line centerman. Now, it was just 2017-18 that he scored 42 goals, and that surprised me. So I may not value Eric Staal or not believe in him maybe as much as I could or maybe should. Sam Reinhart ready to take the next step. I really think that he's capable of being a very good top 6 forward. But they have problems. And the first problem is when you sign a player like Jeff Skinner, a soft, what is he? What would you, a power play specialist maybe? When you sign a player like him for 8 years at $9 million a season, what happens is you get fired. Jason Botterill fired. Jason Botterill will likely never get to sign a player ever again after that ridiculous contract. Just one of the worst contracts in the NHL. He scored 14 goals and 23 points last year. He's starting on the 4th line. It's very difficult when you get screwed like that to build a top-tier team when $9 million of it is being thrown out the window. The first defensive unit of Jake McCabe and Rasmus Ristolainen is the 30th ranked number 1 defensive pair in the NHL. That's not good enough. Now, they do have Rasmus Dahlin, number 1 overall pick in 2018. And it's very difficult to be a number 1 pick as a defenseman. You don't just skyrocket like the Connor McDavids do. It takes more time. It's hard for an 18-year-old, 19-year-old to knock grizzled veterans out of the front of the goal. And it takes a while for them to mature. And some top defensemen draft picks don't ever do that. Look at Aaron Ekblad. How long have we been waiting for? I believe he's 2014 number one overall pick. How long have we been waiting for Ekblad to step up? Well, I stopped waiting. I stopped waiting for him 2 years ago. And I stopped believing in the Panthers because of Aaron Ekblad. Look at Victor Hedman. When you have a guy like Victor Hedman, now he was a number 2 overall pick, what happens is you win Stanley Cups. When you have a guy like Aaron Ekblad, you're just mired in mediocrity. And Hedman, look at Drew Doughty. Now, Dahlin is capable, but I really think the future of the Buffalo Sabres sort of lies on his shoulders. And if he has a career like Hedman, the Sabres become a very good hockey team because I like Eichel. With that being said, I expect the Sabres to score their fair amount of goals. And they always start the year strong. But the urgency of a 56-game season has me on the Capitals -1 at +117 and also has me on the over 6 at -115. I feel like the Sabres will continue to lose. That losing will follow them around for yet another NHL season.